Get yourself a pair of cool sunglasses. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, they look really good. Alright, well, let's go turn in this mission. Um, Obviously, my stream cut out on me again. Said the same thing. Had to do the same thing. Stop OBS entirely. Restart it. I don't know what's going on. But I think after I do this mission, I'm probably just going to end this particular stream. And we'll see what I can do about things in the future. If anything. I don't know that there's anything to do. You know, some days the stream is fine, some days it's not. Alright, Imogen.
Just the person I wanted to see. You got that schematic?
I do. May I ask what your plans are?
We'll have our research and development team take a look. If there's anything notable, we'll reverse engineer it, then recreate it with our own spin. And believe me, by the time our engineers are through, Trident won't even recognize it.
Well, here it is, and Trident is none the wiser.
And we aim to keep it that way. I need to deliver this to Vina so she can start the reverse engineering process, but first, Ulara wants to see you. I've upgraded your security level so you can access the executive floor, where her office is. Tell her assistant Maeve you have an appointment. I won't be far behind, in case you get lost.
Alright then. Moving on up to the east side.
I'm a little busy right now.
Nobody asked you what you think. I'll get back out into space and then we'll see what
This deal could be huge for my
what's what.
company.
It says something, does it not? That the executives wish to have everyone else physically beneath them?
Don't cause any trouble.
I think
That's
that was the single most stressful experience.
pretty typical, I would say.
Can I help you?
Yes.
Name an appointment.
I'm expected. Imogen sent me.
That's neither your name or appointment. If you're expected, I need that information before allowing you in. So again, name and appointment.
They're with me, Maeve. We have an appointment with Ularu. She should be expecting us.
Thank you, Imogene. I'll mark you down as confirmed. Ularo's in a meeting with Genevieve, but they should be done any minute now if you want to wait right here.
Thanks, Maeve.
Well, sooner than I thought. Looks like Ularu's ready now.
Oh, one more thing. You know, if they aren't willing, that leaves us with only one option.
God, Ularu, is that always your response? I don't want another PR mess on my hands.
Yes, Viv, because you're too good at your job. Now, we can talk details later. My next appointment's here.
Fine, but you can break this news to Alexis at our next meeting.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Good. You're finally here. The one I've been hearing so much about. I'm Ularu Chen, head of operations here at Ryujin. So tell me, what do you think of your new job so far?
What does operations entail?
Simply put, our goal is to ensure the success of this company and keep things running smoothly. We supply our various departments with whatever resources they need in order to meet expectations to achieve this. It's much easier said than done, believe me.
Well, it's a job.
And that's an answer. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. At least I can assume you're not out to tell me what I want to hear, which is somewhat refreshing. Now, my dear Jeannie here says you've been through the basics of what we do and pulled off success every time.
5 successful standard assignments and 1 specialized.
And on top of all that, a flawless record. It's no wonder they love you up here. I happen to have a personal assignment that I'd like to send you on. One that involves meeting up with an outside contact. Jeannie seems to think you're more than capable of handling it.
They're the best operative I've ever hired.
Let's not forget the only operative you've ever hired. Meeting with outside contacts isn't always as straightforward as your past assignments. Some can be fickle or demanding, so you'll need to decide how to handle them and what decisions to make on the fly.
I'm sure I can make them see things my way.
Good. Then you shouldn't have any trouble. Your contact is Simon Rychek. He claims to have information on a new project that Infinity Ltd is working on. He said it's a game changer that Ryujin would be especially interested in, so his asking price is the big thing to consider. Finance will reimburse up to 1,000 credits, so if you have negotiation skills, use them.
That's pretty cheap. But if it's important, I'll get it. Anything specific I should know about Simon?
Simon's been working with us for years, so he'll pose no threat to you. He's paranoid, which is why I assume he's never been caught. But his information is typically worth it. Now, in order to confirm your identity, Simon prefers code phrases. I'll let Jeannie give you the details on this one because the concept is just beneath me.
Simon is into sports, so he enjoys any opportunity to talk about them. At some point, he'll casually say, "Looks like the Galactic Raiders are the #1 pick for the Universal Championship this year." You get to respond with, "Razor Derby is the only real sport." Got it?
Razor Derby is the only real sport. Yes, got it.
What is Razor Derby?
According to Simon Rychek, it's the only real sport in the galaxy. But if you want a lesson in sports, just ask him. Movies are more my thing when it comes to entertainment.
And who are the Galactic Raiders?
They're a batball team that sucks. They have about as much chance of winning the Universal Championship as Aurora does of going legal outside of Neon. Simon despises batball, though, which is why he crafted that response you give in return.
Stupid, but whatever.
Exactly.
Just get what we need. You'll find him above the Lux condos in Sidonia's Plaza.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to take care of.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
They know how to make a client feel welcome up here.
Really? I thought they would know how to make a client feel intimidated.
Thanks again for your assistance. I trust you'll be discreet.
I usually am. If it suits me. And there's no credits involved otherwise.
This was where we first met, wasn't it?
Say the word, and we shall be on our way.
I know what this game is missing. And generally speaking, I think all space-related games are missing this concept. Space RV park. Now, when I say that, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. There would be two types. There would be planetary-based space RV parks and space-based space RV parks. And essentially all it would be, for a planetary-based one, it would just be a series of landing pads. You'd have fuel, you'd have, you know, obviously for game mechanic purposes, like in this game, they don't really use fuel, but the point is you'd have hookups for whatever utilities, maintenance, etc. And it would just be like, I don't know, a, depending on how big the quote park is meant to be, like half a dozen, a dozen, a couple dozen, just a space with a bunch of landing pads. That's it. Each landing pad would have the hookups, and there would be like in the center of it all like the equivalent of like a general store, convenience store, bodega, whatever you want to call it, with, of course, fuel. And then maintenance as well. You'd probably have to do the maintenance yourself, essentially, but, you know, there might be a mechanic on hand. So, essentially, in this game, it'd be, I would say, 6 landing pads, like large-sized landing pads, surrounding a ship's services location with a bunch of vending machines and a trade authority. Wouldn't even have to be a full trade authority. You could just do the kiosk. That'd be it. And then in space, the same thing. The only difference is, basically, think of it like a, if you look at the design of space stations in this game, think of it like that. So, all spokey and pokey and like a tree without, like, just a bunch of branches, basically. With again, half a dozen docking ports. And in the center, in fact, very much almost identical to the den in this game. That would be the space version. You have like 6 docking ports. I think that one has 5. Might only be 3, but we'll say 6 for the purposes of argument. 2 layers worth, you know, 3 docking ports at a top layer, 3 docking ports at a lower layer, whatever. Or just 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And in the center, a trade authority, fuel, and a bar. Like, you don't have to have much else because the people are sleeping on their ships. That's the point. It's an RV park. So all that you're paying for, and of course you'd have to pay, is rental space for the evening or whatever, or for the week or whatever. You hail the station or the landing pad point of interest, and you basically get into a dialogue option that opens up and it says, how long do you want to stay? And you know, for the purposes of this game, I would say you don't want to charge too much, but you want to charge a little bit to make it seem like it's, you know, the usual thing. I would put it personally at 100 credits a night, or 500 credits for a week. A week being what we understand as 7 days. So, a little bit of a discount for the week. But hey, you might not stay there for the week. You might not want to pay for that whole week. And put one of these literally in every single system, right? Every single world, put one of these orbital stations that are basically truck stops for spacecraft around everywhere. Now, here's what I'll argue. These already do exist, or did. They attempted to do it, and this is my justification for them not existing, because this would totally be a thing in this kind of world. But you may notice every time you run into when you jump, half the time you jump, you end up in an asteroid field. The other half the time, you end up in what seems like a field of debris that looks like it could have been a former space station. There you go. That's what those are. That's why you keep ending up in them, because they tried at one point to build these things, and any number of reasons that they got destroyed. Probably Crimson Fleet, most assuredly Spacers. Who knows? Maybe during the war they got blown up. Now, as for why there's none on the planets, there are. They're just full, or not sending out a signal to be noted. Because during the war, there was problems with that. Or maybe, again, they're scared of Crimson Fleet, or they're worried about Spacers. Because that would be a target for Spacers, right? If you were to encounter one of these RV parks, spaceship RV parks, that'd be an easy target for Spacers and Crimson Fleet. Oh, hey, like shooting fish in a barrel. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to quit now, but while we're ahead, so to speak. We've only had 2 stream crashes and 1 game crash, and I think that's enough for me. So we'll see what happens next time. And until then, thanks for listening to me complain about things. And just talk in general, and actually play the game a little in between all of that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed your time. Until next time, I'll see you in the stars.